Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is Starlight Beacon Transmissions, episode 56. Yes, we are up to 56 of these now. If you're not getting sick and tired of us, here we are. And we're joined by a few special guests. We're going to introduce them here in just a second. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am your host. I'm one of your hosts, I should say. I keep saying that. It's still kind of new. Um, and joining me is my amazing co-host, Lavender the Librarian. Lavender, how are you?
I'm good, Eric. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a week. I am on the cusp of a 3-day weekend, so I am like, I
Yes.
just need to get through tomorrow, and then I am going to immerse myself in Brotherhood on Tuesday. So I am super excited about that.
Oh, that's that soon, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, on Tuesday. And joining us, we have two very special guests. They were with us what was it, a couple of months ago now?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, when we did our
February?
Yeah.
it was right at the end of the Book of Boba Fett, and we broke that down and we talked about the Galactic Star Cruiser and Disney World and all sorts of fun stuff. It's Sarah and Steven from Princess and Scoundrel. How are you guys?
Hello. Hello.
We're great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You guys are welcome back anytime that you want. We have a jam-packed show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about May 4th. We're going to be talking about a little TV show that's coming out at the end of May, possibly. I don't know if any of you have seen a trailer for this at all yet. No,
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Let's.
Mm-mm.
no. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Not yet.
actually
Not yet. I'm excited to watch it.
yeah,
The Max Rebo special.
yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
was just about to say. It's the
There you
Max
go.
Rebo show. Yeah. It's how he survived the events of the Book of Boba Fett when the canteen.
Oh yes.
I hope so.
Yeah, yeah. I believe Ellie said Max Rebo wasn't there, so it's okay. He wasn't there. It's fine.
He called out
Day
sick that
off.
day.
Yeah, he called out sick that day. Um, so we're going to talk about that, and then you two went on the Star Cruiser
We
with
did.
yes, with a few other podcasting people as well. I saw Dano was there. I saw Thank the Maker was there. All those guys, and we are going to talk to you about that. So yeah, just gonna go through some announcements and then we'll get into it. How's that sound?
Sounds
All
good.
right. So announcements. No show on June 4th because we're going to be at AwesomeCon in Washington D.C. So no show for that. No show August 13th as we will be partying at Typhoon Lagoon that night for H2O Glow Nights. And then we are working on a big celebration show for the end of the month. Uh, I was gonna try to go live every day of celebration, but I don't think I could do it. It's just too much. Or
Intense.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Um, I have to ask, are you two going to celebration?
We are.
Yeah.
Does this mean
we
we're
are.
gonna meet?
Yeah.
No, we're not because we're not going. I'm sorry.
We're gonna be there in spirit.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's gonna be intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
yeah. When you said that, I was like, our schedule is like very, very tight.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can. We'll share that later if
Yeah.
you want. It's
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
sleep.
We were looking at
Oh.
the panel schedule. I believe it was last week, and like
Yes.
we
Like,
broke down that panel schedule. Yeah,
I don't know how I'd be able to like all the things I want to go to are like, at the same time.
yeah, yeah,
It's like I'm
Well,
glad I'm
and I
not
think they
going, so that
do
way I can
that.
just watch them all later.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were looking at the panels too, we were like, man, the same situation where like there's things that we can't go to because you want to go to one thing or go to another.
yeah.
They did it on purpose. They
Oh,
do it
yeah.
on purpose so that way they split up. Like, okay, these are the really good ones. We have to
Like
put them at the
disperse
same,
people.
put everybody at the same time. But
Yeah,
yeah, we have that and just kind of the whole, because we're going to be meeting other creators there. So we're going to Disneyland and doing the Star Wars night over there.
nice.
And so yeah, we've just got like a,
It's busy.
very packed 4 to 5 days.
Yeah, yeah. Not to mention, it'll take you a full day to fly out there to California as well with
It's
everything.
not bad.
Yeah.
No?
We're in Texas, so we leave.
Oh.
I think our flight's at like 5 or something. We get there at 7 because of the time difference.
Oh, not
It's
bad.
coming home that's not going to be very pleasant, but it's
Oh,
not too
the
bad.
jet lag.
We were going to be leaving at like 11 o'clock at night and getting there after midnight. And yesterday I found flights to go to a closer airport at a better time. I'm like, okay, we'll sleep a little bit.
Yeah.
Like maybe a couple hours we'll get some sleep.
There you go. Absolutely. Yeah, for us it was kind of like they didn't announce the tickets fast enough, in my opinion. Like, it just felt like they waited till the last minute to announce any media registration, any group table registration, and any of the ticketing information for that event. I know, like, they were trying to get a lot of their 2020 ticket holders back,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it just felt like as soon as you opened up the hotel block, you should have opened up the ticket block then for that. But we are super excited for you guys to go to Celebration. We are super excited for Star Wars Celebration as well. We will be there in spirits. Um, I don't know
I'm
how.
gonna be the dork sitting there like checking Twitter on my phone at a friend's wedding. So
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, you
There's
guys
so many
have to
weddings that
do it.
weekend.
Yeah.
There really are. Well, it's Memorial Day weekend too.
Hmm.
Yep.
So
That's fine.
everyone is probably like, oh, it's a 3-day weekend. Like, we'll do our wedding then. Yeah, I have to drive to West Virginia from Florida, and I'm
Oh my
Oof.
not looking
gosh.
forward to this.
That's a hike.
It's
So are you
okay.
gonna have time to watch Kenobi if you're gonna be driving?
So
Like
we're driving
how
up
that would?
on the 20, we're leaving the night of the 25th. We figure we'll get there sometime like around lunch the next day. And
So you
then
have okay,
and yeah, then we'll be able to watch it on the 27th. So
Oh, good.
I
because
can.
that's what we were kind of running into where
We were going to be in the air
yeah
when it premiered, and we were like,
oh my
"Oh
gosh.
no, there's
yeah
no way we're going to be able to watch it that night because by the time we land and get to the hotel, it's going to be 2 a.m. We're going to be going up to the conference the next day or the convention. We just won't have time because we are truly like booked solid from like 8 a.m. to like what 1 a.m. every
yeah.
day that we're
Yeah.
there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so this gives us a little more time.
To watch it.
We won't sleep, but we'll get to
Yeah.
watch it hopefully.
I just imagine, like, I've been seeing on Twitter, like, everybody's like, oh yeah, as soon as Thursday night celebration closes, like, come on over to our hotel room. We're gonna watch Kenobi all together, like, on the tiniest screens possible because, like, you
I'm
wouldn't be
just on
able
their
to.
phones.
Yeah.
Right, like on the hotel, they don't have big TV. Well, that's our situation is one of the guys in our podcast network lives in LA. And so he's like, I don't even think he invited anybody. I think we all just were like, we're going to your house. And he was like, you guys can come, but he's like, my living room's small. He's like, I can get some lawn chairs. He's like, but we're all squeezing in here. And everybody's like, yeah, let's do it. It's like, okay,
Oh, it's gonna be amazing though.
Yeah.
Be able to like
it'll
watch
be
it with
fun.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
We're super excited. So let's get into some news real quick here, and then we'll get into some more fun here. Funko announces a Power of the Galaxy line with Padme Amidala being the first figure in this. Have you guys seen this? It's an Amazon exclusive.
I already have mine pre-ordered.
Yes, my wife just literally yelled that she has hers pre-ordered too. Um,
We're
it
kindred spirits.
Yeah, this is the Senate one. I'll actually share my screen real quick.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
seen this. We try so hard not to be like collectors of things because like it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And of
Mhm.
the few things that we do collect, like
I collect the helmets, the Black
Yeah.
Series helmets,
Yeah.
and like now that I don't have some, like I'm on that chase of like I need to get these certain ones. It was like the exclusives, the GameStop
Yeah.
exclusive, the
Yeah.
Amazon exclusives.
but with Pops, there's so many of
Yeah.
them. Like that feels like a part-time job to keep up with all the new
Yeah.
Pops that come out.
Oh yeah. So this is
But let's see them. I want to see them.
yes. So just click watch screen or watch stream, and there you go. So you can see here. This is the Padme Amidala. I wish I could zoom in on this, but she is actually in. This is her Senate outfit, I believe.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Yes,
good.
yes, this is her Senate outfit. That's a better picture of it.
This
Um,
is the
That's really
Yeah.
this is how Liberty dies with thunderous applause scene.
oh, oh,
Yes.
Oh.
Very fitting.
yeah, way to commemorate this scene. Um, but yes, so that is the Funko there. Let me see here. Amazon exclusive, and let's see when it doesn't say when it launches.
I think it was sometime July that they're expecting to ship, and then there's going to be one each month for the rest of the year for that series, but they haven't said any of the other characters yet. I'm kind of hoping it's more badass babes.
Yeah, I mean, if
Well, that's what I
Leia,
was gonna ask. Like, what is
The theme.
what's the like the power of the galaxy? Is that gonna be like all the powerful females, going through, or are they
that's
gonna
what I'm
do?
thinking.
I don't know.
There's
September
no one
2nd.
more September 2nd. Okay. There's no one more powerful than this Funko Pop though.
I mean,
What is it? I
oh,
can't see it.
It's Rey with the X-Wing pilot helmet and her little
Oh yeah,
doll.
Oh, that's
oh,
a
her
good
little X-wing
one.
doll. Yeah.
Yep.
This
I don't even remember where I found it,
Yeah.
but it's
can't
like
collect them.
treasured.
Yes.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah. But I'm hoping. I mean, if you don't put Leia in that line, I think it's kind of a crime against the fandom if you don't put Leia in this line.
Yes, we need more Leias.
Yeah. Oh, let me go back to full screen here. Um, what else do we have? We have a Skywalker Sound documentary that's going to be airing on Apple TV. This is in. I think it's
I
actually.
groan because we don't have Apple
We don't have
TV.
Oh,
Oh
one of
no.
the 50 streaming
Yeah.
services.
yeah. So this is actually available May 9th, and it's going to be going behind Skywalker Sound, behind the scenes of Skywalker Sound, and their 40 plus year legacy between doing
Um,
Star Wars movies and all the other movies that they've done. So that's pretty cool. And it also, oh, they apparently Skywalker Sound created GarageBand. So I did not know that either. So
I didn't either. That's pretty
oh,
amazing.
yeah.
really neat.
Yeah, so I think that would be a fun documentary. If you have Apple TV, it's worth it, in my opinion. Pickle, I'm gonna kill you.
Show up for show up for
I'm
Ted
kidding.
Lasso, stay for the Skywalker Sound.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. If you're gonna watch Apple TV, just watch Ted Lasso and then maybe the Skywalker Sound, and then cancel it after that. I don't know. The morning show is pretty good too. So let's see here. Then we have Obi-Wan Kenobi Wednesdays announced. So this is similar to the Mandalorian Mondays that they did when Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian were airing. And I mean, this is just another way to sell merch. Anybody interested in this?
I mean, I'm probably gonna go see what they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sucker for merch.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
am
think
too.
that's same thing. May 4th. That's where
And
they
it's
get it.
Obi-Wan. Like, how could you
Yeah.
not?
Yeah,
I think I'm
Well,
gonna
and I
have
exactly.
to
think
do
the thing
some
is that
early.
the time is going to be more what people are kind of, you know, they fawn over is that time of after the prequels between the originals.
Yeah.
So you're going to
Yeah.
see more troopers and more classic thing. I think the big thing is the Inquisitors, but we could
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
talk about them. Huh?
I just opened the page, the Obi-Wan Wednesdays like link,
Yeah.
and it's got. Have you seen this? It's animated.
Mm-mm.
It's got the Vader and Obi-Wan like
Oh
art
yeah.
together,
Yeah.
and the fog and the flames are all moving and
Here,
stuff,
I'll
and
share it
it's
real
just very,
quick.
yeah, it's very dramatic.
That's
I wasn't
neat.
expecting that.
Yeah.
I was just like,
So there.
it feels real now.
Oh, is it not popping up? There it is.
There
There
it
it is,
goes.
right there.
So
So you can
fancy.
see Obi-Wan Wednesdays. So there is something. Okay, there's two things that they revealed that If I had the money, I would definitely get this. We are
Oh yeah.
getting a Force Effects Black Series lightsaber for Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I have a feeling
Just a
they.
stand.
Look at that stand.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Gorgeous.
Which I have a feeling they never released Obi-Wan at Galaxy's Edge, right?
They did, but it was prequel Obi-Wan, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
they
Yeah.
yeah, like
had it. It
episode
wasn't.
one.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, I
this
think you're
one
right.
looks more darker and
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other one was
weathered.
very shiny and
Yeah.
Yeah.
silver.
Oh, look at that.
Oh God, look at that. It's just rude.
It is. It is. It really is. Now, Steven, you said that you collect the Black Series helmets.
It's pre-ordered already.
This one,
Yeah.
you've got Vader pre-ordered. Nice.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes. Um, I mean, look, and you've got the red tinted lenses there. You can see the inside of the helmet. That is gorgeous.
It's just
So I think they changed the scowl, like modeled it a little bit differently.
Mhm.
So that was the thing I told Sarah. I was like, "Hey, can you pre-order it for me, or put it on because she has the Hasbro account."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, there's a new Vader helmet." She's like, "You have a Vader." I was like, "This one has the red eyes, and this one has a different sculpt on it. So just order it."
Different.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's a slightly different color. Okay.
Yeah, this is more in tune with that Rebels Vader that we had, and the
hmm
not the
Mhm.
Revenge of
Yeah.
the Sith, Rogue One Vader that we had,
Yep.
like when you can see his eyes. So yes, that's really really cool. I was wondering if they were gonna wait to show that off until that first day, but I think it's great that it's already available for pre-order.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
for
there
our
is.
wallets, but
Yeah.
because it was like right after May the 4th, I
Yeah,
think the
Yeah.
pre-order
yeah, because there
dropped.
was a lot of stuff that Disney dropped too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So were you oh well, I know Maggie, our one of our staff members, was actually at Galaxy's Edge on May 4th. She picked up the Luminara lightsaber. She was actually able to pick
Oh,
that up.
nice.
Or not the Luminara, the Ventress lightsaber.
Ventress one, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, because she doesn't like Luminara. Um
No, but she is a Ventress stan. Did you see she did the Ventress cosplay too?
yes, from Dark Disciple. Yeah. Um
That's
did
cool.
were you able to order the Ahsoka Tano sabers?
We were.
Really?
Yeah. And they actually came in
today,
like an hour ago. We still haven't opened them because we were like, we've got to eat dinner and get the kids fed before we get on this thing. And so they're sitting in the box downstairs, and we're like, huh.
I mean, you could open it tonight if you wanted to, like on the show.
They're I had to hide them from the kids too because I told our son
Mhm.
because I was like, we wanted those blades
yeah,
or
Yeah.
the hilts for ever. We never bought them, and then of course the pandemic, and they stopped selling them, and so we were able to get the Rebels ones, the color changing ones.
Mhm.
But that was just like our like, oh, it would have been nice if we had it.
Yeah.
Um, just got crazy lucky
yeah.
with the queue because I had all the screens open.
My husband really
Uh,
wants those ones, and I was at work, and I was like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It was wild because some of them, when you open up the queue, like when you got in the queue, it would say there's like 40,000 people in front of you. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. And there really wasn't a lot of exclusive stuff either that they were offering.
Yeah.
They had a couple of like May the 4th pins and stuff like that.
That's what I was surprised at, that there wasn't like
More.
more.
It was
Yeah.
really just the sabers that were like
It-
that people really wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like last year's May the 4th because it felt like last year's May 4th had like a little bit more in terms of like exclusivity for some things because like we were at Disney World for May 4th last year. Like they released the Star Tours Wishables. They released, but then that hit Shop Disney also, kind of like the Smugglers
Right.
Runs one did, or the Smugglers Run ones did. But like they had a Bad Batch Magic Band that you could only pick up like in the parks,
Well, yeah.
and then like some Bad Batch merch like you could only get there. Whereas with this, we got the we got the Boba Fett and IG-88 pin. We got the May 4th hat, and then my wife got the Naboo Starbucks mug, and then like
Oh, nice.
two of the Wishables blind bags, and then the Chewbacca. And then we'll see who we get in the blind bags. Hopefully not Hondo, because that one's kind of creepy. But
Yeah, he looks
What?
stars in his eyes.
Okay, that's the one I want. So if I don't, I could, because I got one of the blind bags.
Mhm.
So I either want that or the Falcon. If I don't get either of those,
yeah,
let's talk.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we get
Okay.
Hondo, we'll send them to you. Like that's
Okay.
no problem whatsoever.
Because our good friend is Mike from Hondo Supply. So I was like, if I get Hondo, I'm just gonna like send it to him. Hello, my friends.
Yeah. I mean, I say that because my wife was kind of in the room and she doesn't like Hondo, like the look of Hondo. She loves Hondo. Don't get me wrong, she loves Hondo. She just
But
doesn't
he's
like the
so
look of the
cute.
Wishable. Me, I'm just like, I'll take it. Like, I'll collect the whole set. I don't care. And
Yeah,
I
no, it was
yeah.
super cute.
Oh yeah, and I love his droid. I love that the droid comes in the set too,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot of fun. So we had that. So how did we, besides, okay, so besides buying a bunch of merch that we didn't need for May 4th, how did we celebrate May 4th? We'll start with Sarah and Steven, and then we'll go with Lavender.
It was mostly a celebration of our money leaving our wallets because we both worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't truly celebrate it in any way aside from just buying a bunch
Yeah,
of stuff
buying.
online, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because we both have like these projects for celebration. Sarah's working on a costume, and then
Yeah.
I'm working on my droid, my BD droid. So we've been just like every extra second that we have trying to figure it out, hopefully getting it to work. That's my thing, is like hopefully I could get it to work, get it ready
Yeah.
for celebration. But
So technically we were working on Star Wars related things, but it was like really no different than any other day. Like we celebrate Star Wars every day.
had
Yeah.
had Rebels on.
Yeah,
the
we
TV.
did. We watched Rebels. Or no, we watched Forces of Destiny. We finally
Nice.
got our daughter on that one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That's what we
nice.
were watching. Today we started her on Rebels and she was digging that. And then we watched Moon Knight, which it's like a cousin of Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Because it was the finale. So we were like, we need to watch that. Um,
It's Star
and then
Wars
we
adjacent.
waited
It's
in the
got Poe.
gallery. Right?
There you
Yeah,
go.
exactly. It's another personality.
I was just about to say that Poe Dameron is another one of Mark Spector's personalities. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
sassy
Yeah.
one.
no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have the sassy one. I mean, Lavender, how about you?
I did my best attempt at a Jedi work bound because I had to go be in the library all day. Um, and my library, sadly, I don't have very many Star Wars kids books, so I kind of like put out a quick little display, put up some stuff on social media, and I just walked around with my lightsaber and my porg all day. And
Nice.
when people were like, "Why are you dressed up?" I was like, "Do you not know what today is?" It's this is my holiday.
Yeah. Now,
So
now I have to ask. I have to ask because we talked about this last week. Did you act like Jocasta knew by telling people like things didn't exist, like if it wasn't there?
I couldn't because that is very irresponsible of a librarian to
Okay.
do.
All right.
I have my qualms with Madame Jocasta.
Yeah. I think we both knew.
Yeah. She should be in like every library science class as like prime example of what not to do at the reference desk.
Looking for a book on maps, particularly this map. If it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist.
Like,
Yeah.
It's not in my records. It couldn't possibly have just been deleted by accident.
Master, someone erased it from the archive memory. Yeah. I actually ended up watching Attack of the Clones after I got home from work. So
Nice.
I
nice.
watched that. And then we did an episode 1 viewing party here in Discord. T-Spans showed up and was quoting Jar Jar the entire night. So that was
Oh
kind of
gosh.
interesting. Um, I mean, he's the youngest person in our server, and I know him from
Oh,
from another server, and He's in his teens and he likes to say boomer and cringe and sussy baka and all that other fun stuff. So it was definitely an interesting evening with Mr. Spanowitz. So T-Spans, if you're watching, thank you for joining us that night.
Making everyone feel 10 years older
Oh
than
my God.
actual actual age.
If there is somebody that has made me feel old, it's this kid. Like this kid just
I had one of my employees today tell me, "I know you're not my mom, but happy Mother's Day." And I was just like, and I feel so old because, like, I think almost technically I am old enough to be their mom. So, yikes.
yeah. So quick side note about T-Spans. Um, this past Christmas was the first time he watched Christmas Vacation when we did like our Christmas party in Discord.
Oh man.
So he had no idea like this movie had ever existed. He
Gosh.
loved it.
How?
he, he loved it. Like he was eating it up, and I was so happy, but still like, yeah. He asked me if I knew
Travesty.
what an 8-track was. And I told him, yeah,
Oh,
I know what
Oh,
it is, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
tell you what it is.
like that. That's
Like, do
rude.
you know what it is?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I know you've been watching Stranger Things, but So,
Yeah.
so let's talk about a little known TV show that's coming out at the end of the month. This is the Max Rebo special about how he escaped the cantina in the end of Book of Boba Fett. I mean, don't get me wrong, we would watch that on Disney Plus, right?
We would. You know what?
Yeah,
Make a
I
Lego
yeah.
special.
Make it a
Yeah,
Lego
right.
Well,
special?
man, talk about his voice on Lego.
Yeah,
Like they gave him a deep voice.
Did they?
they
Yeah, the
I didn't
did.
character.
watch
Mhm.
that one.
They really did. My favorite is still the Robot Chicken iteration where he talks jive. He's like, he's like, gotta make it to the gig, man. Gotta make it to the gig. And then he misses it by half an hour, and they give it to Finger and Dan in the modal nodes.
But that's how he survived the sail barge.
That's
Yeah,
So,
There
exactly.
you go.
yeah,
His alarm clocks do
series.
not work. So
no,
it's
no,
it's saved him many a
It's like
times.
Final
yeah,
Destination,
Yeah.
but Max Rebo.
yes,
Like being late could
uh,
save your life.
yes.
Right?
I'm sorry we are all over the place tonight, but I don't care. I mean, I do, but we're just having fun
Sorry.
talking Star Wars. No, no, it's fine. I should have sent you the show notes, and I apologize for that. I should have sent those to you. Um, so we have a show, Obi-Wan Kenobi, coming out May 27th, 2-episode premiere, which is going to be huge. I don't know how
2 of 6.
yeah, 2 of 6. So instead of
Yeah.
6 weeks of talking about Kenobi, we have 5 weeks to talk about Kenobi now.
I mean, realistically, though, we're probably going to be talking about it for longer than 5 weeks,
Oh,
anyways.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're still talking about the Bad Batch, and that's been over a year now. So, this trailer brings us a lot of information, but not a lot of information at the same time of what's going on. What were your thoughts when you saw this trailer for Kenobi? I'm going to start with Sarah and Steven, and I'll go with Lavender.
You want to start?
Oh, you could go. I'll let you go first.
So the latest trailer,
Yes.
I had one takeaway, which was just like, how dare you, Uncle Owen, attack our sweet Obi-Wan like that? Like, you weren't there. You didn't know what happened. Like, when he said that, it was just like a...
But see, I think that like it makes Owen even like a stronger caregiver for Luke because he's like, no, like Obi-Wan's like pestering him to, hey, I want to train him. And he's like, dude, like, no, like you already effed up. You already messed up. Like, he's going to take care of this kid, even though he's like, doesn't have that. I mean, I guess because it's his mom, it is. He considers it his nephew, considers him his nephew. So I disagree, but go.
Well, that was just my whole takeaway from it is just like Obi-Wan gets knocked down over and over and over and over, and he just never gets like that. He never gets to be happy. And this trailer to me like drove that home. Like Obi-Wan never gets his moment, and it's like, oh, it hurts. It makes me fall in love with him even more.
So for me, my whole take on the Kenobi show, I was kind of uh, the thought of I don't see where they could get a story, because we
Yeah.
saw him go from Phantom Menace attack, like we saw him grow up, be kind of a Padawan or a, you know, an apprentice to Qui-Gon, and then become a master. And then he had this whole arc with Maul, Rebels. He got to finish that, and it was kind of like he's gonna be he's that hope. So we got to see everything, and I was thinking it was gonna be maybe a little bit earlier when we see him with the Mandalorian. What's her name?
Satine.
Satine.
Yeah.
I was like, that could be some story that we could kind of get into. But way this one seems is they're fully aware that Obi-Wan's alive and on the run. You know, with the whole, they're putting it like a wanted poster type of thing. Go get him. The one Inquisitor is kind of, I guess, his main Inquisitor after him, and just kind of saying he's gonna get you. Talking about Vader.
Mm.
And so then then they showed Vader's, but I'm intrigued now. Before I was kind of like, I kind of felt I got Obi-Wan's story, but now I just want to see, and I feel like maybe this is going to be the branch off of more Vader, and I'm excited for that. Like, this is when Vader was like supposed to be the killer that everybody feared in the galaxy type of thing. So that's the exciting part, but we'll see what they have planned for us.
Yeah. Real quick, Lavender. Go ahead, and then I'll share some thoughts on this.
Okay, my biggest takeaway, and I just keep replaying the scene over and over again, is Obi-Wan taking the blaster out of the stormtrooper's hand and then shooting the other one with it. Like, how dare you? It's so uncivilized, but also he survives, and he's got to survive and adapt. And I'm very excited for feral desert Obi-Wan.
Yeah. That's a fantastic scene, and I think the way it's shot is beautifully, and I think the way it's edited in the trailer is beautifully is
I like had to
beautiful.
watch it like 3 or 4
Yeah.
times. I'm like, is he okay? So he's like twisting the guy's arm and like pulling it, and then yeah,
Another spin. We got another spin.
how much spinning? It's too fancy.
It's too
It's not
fancy.
allowed.
Yeah, no more spinning in Star Wars. But going back to the Owen thing, Steven, I'm with you here too. Like, Obi-Wan had the chance, and Owen is just trying to be that protective father figure for Luke now, and he's trying to give Luke a chance at a childhood. That's what I got from it too. Like, Luke shouldn't have to be pressured to feel like he is the chosen one to bring balance to the Force, when ultimately the chosen one to bring balance to the Force is ultimately Rey at the end of all of this because of the sequel trilogy. But still, at that point, Luke just wants to be a kid. Like, he sees him practicing pod racing on top of the hovel. Like, how can you not just want Luke just to be a kid at that point and like not become this galactic hero? And you know what? While I got upset at the way Owen snapped at Obi-Wan, it is justified because he did take away part of Owen's family essentially with Anakin.
Yeah.
So I can see the animosity there. Um our thoughts on the Inquisitors hunting down Obi-Wan, are we going to see certain Jedi Knights still being hunted down, or are we going to focus more on Obi-Wan here?
I've seen a lot of speculation about Luminara. um, about this being where they capture her to use her as their bait later on in Rebels.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, because that's gotta happen at some point. But I mean, who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe it's already
Yeah.
happened. So
So I'm trying to think. This is going to be before Rebels, right?
Yes.
yeah, before
So, are,
Rebels and
how are
before
they
Fallen Order.
currently going to be searching for Force users? Do we know?
They don't really say
Is it
how
just
they're
going
going
to
to
be
be. Yeah.
Okay. Because I think that's was Fallen, like how it's going to play into the Fallen Order, where
Yeah.
they're using the holocrons and kind of having a source of, a database type of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But this one is going to be probably more word of mouth. Like, hey, I think I saw someone with a lightsaber. Because that was when we were watching Rebels. The first thing Kanan did was like, whatever their little getaway was, he was going to let him know that there was a Grand Inquisitor. Well, basically, he showed off his lightsaber. So
Yeah.
the Grand Inquisitor got informed that, hey, there's a Jedi or there's a Force user type of thing. So I think that's why we see Obi-Wan not using his saber, doing the more, you know, uh, feral type stuff. But it's just because he doesn't want to give away that he is who he, we all know who he is.
Right.
Okay.
So
think it's
with it
gonna.
being like a 6-part event,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
What's going to be the end goal? Is it going to, we're going to see an Obi-Wan Vader showdown. That's what we're hoping to see, right?
Yeah.
Is at least Obi-Wan and Vader
Hmm.
at some point. So is it that they fight again and come to this agreement of like, hey man, just stay on Tatooine, like stay out of my business, and we part our separate ways because we know that they're both going to live. So what is that separation going to look like, and do we get that at the end of the sixth episode, or are they going to be like, surprise, it's actually 12 parts and you'll get the next 6 next year or something? Right?
I think it's going to be him, Vader, thinking he kills Obi-Wan because he's still surprised on A New Hope
Mm,
Yeah.
when they meet.
Mhm.
So we still have to have that separation of like,
Mhm.
I haven't seen you in a long time, you become old type of thing. So I think that's the big thing is like he's got to think that he's dead, and then he can't find out about Luke. So
yeah.
I think that's gonna be a hard one.
What about Bail Organa kind of stepping in and kind of being that bridge between Obi-Wan and Vader? Like, you have the confrontation or whatever, and like Bail kind of steps in and stops the confrontation or what have you, and then just convinces Vader that Obi-Wan is dead, and Obi-Wan goes back into hiding.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be interesting to see Bale pop up again.
That would be good. I hope we get more like cameos, like
Yeah.
reappearances.
Jimmy Smits is
I'd love to.
confirmed for the show, right?
I believe he is confirmed for the show, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
There
we're
you
gonna
go.
see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely get more bail.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
over under on Clone Wars flashbacks with seeing Anakin Skywalker in that classic Clone Wars series armor.
That would be
It's gonna
so
happen.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Obi-Wan and his like, half
Love
clone trooper and half.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to see Hayden Christensen's like face. Like I
Yeah.
want to see him as Anakin
Yeah.
again.
Mhm.
Like not Darth Vader. I want to see him as Anakin.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know if we'll get it.
we got 6 episodes, so what are we gonna get?
I don't know. Just
I-
don't let it drag on like Moon Knight. Like pack them in, please.
So I do have a question here because we did mention Satine earlier. Are we going to get flashbacks of them together in this series? Because Obi-Wan is going to have a lot of time to reflect on his time in the Republic and as a Jedi throughout this show.
From what I kind of put together in my head, Obi-Wan was kind of that truest to the Jedi order. Like he really like believed in it, and Satine was that closest thing of him going away from it and falling in love and having emotion and whatnot. So it would be awesome to see that because then it plays into the whole Mandalorian and kind of that whole, just that more story for the Mandalorians. But I think that's the part of Obi-Wan that I would like to see is because they kind of he would kind of be flirtatious with her and stuff, and
Yeah.
we didn't really see too much of that. But
Yeah.
Do you
I still say Corky's a Kenobi.
still think Corky's a Kenobi?
Corky's a Kenobi.
I'm gonna have to. What was that, honey? Oh, okay, never mind. She was yelling at the cat. Yeah, Corky being a Kenobi. I'm gonna have to talk to you and Maggie about that at some point because I don't think that's happening.
We should do a whole quirky Kenobi special.
Oh, we will. We will. Towards the end of the Kenobi series.
When it's confirmed, when he's writing his memoirs.
So is it gonna start out like the Lord of the Rings starts out with Bilbo writing the book about his previous adventures?
I would love for it to.
There's
Oh,
Pickle.
hey,
There
it's
he
Pickle.
is.
Aww.
There he is. Do you want to say
I
hi?
just had Jaina at my feet.
Do you want to say hi?
No.
No.
The tail wants
No.
to say hello, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it is. There you go. Anyway, so we did hear that Ewan McGregor was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he did talk about there being a possible tie-in to Jedi Fallen Order, and this has to be with the Inquisitors. Like, we have to get Trilla in this, correct?
Well,
Yeah.
so no, because this is happening after Fallen Order, I believe. Let me look up the dates again.
I thought Fallen Order was shortly after this, because I thought Kenobi's only 9 years after Sith.
Yeah, I think it's 10. 10 after
10?
Sith, and then I mean,
Fallen Order is
this is going to be
14
really close.
BBY.
Okay. They're all like in that same gray area. Fallen Order's 14, Kenobi's 9 years after Sith, and Solo's 10, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, because I think
I'm trying to
Solo's going
find
around
a...
the same time.
Um.
Now, is this going to become a brand new Star Wars prequel trilogy here with Kenobi, The Bad Batch, and Solo being a trilogy, or Kenobi, Solo, and Rebels being a trilogy, or?
Well, I mean, what was the? I don't remember all the movies that were part of the anthology
Mhm.
because it was supposed to be kind of Solo and 2 other movies, right?
It was Rogue One, Solo, Josh Trank's Book of Boba Fett movie, or Boba Fett movie was supposed to be one of them.
Mm.
And then
So it went from a Boba Fett to a show. I mean, a movie to a show.
yeah. And even
I
then,
thought Obi-Wan was supposed to be a movie.
it was
Wasn't it?
actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
it actually
originally.
was, yeah.
Okay, so that was part of the anthology. So it might tie into more
Yeah.
the Bad Batch.
Yeah, and then I believe Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie was supposed to be an anthology film at some point too.
I'm not sure. I've only ever heard of that one being standalone. I'm not sure if it's going to mesh in with everything else. I mean,
Yeah.
it all does because it's all Star Wars. But
Right.
Yeah.
real quick, I just
Yeah.
found the timeline. So Fallen Order takes place in 14 BBY. Kenobi is 9 BBY. So it's
9 years.
five
After.
years after Fallen Order. So
Okay.
no Trilla.
Okay.
But we don't know when Fallen Order 2 is. Do we know when that will take
Well,
place?
we're gonna hear about it.
Because I thought on Kimmel he said a future Star Wars game.
Yeah, so that would mean Fallen Order 2. So
Yeah.
Cal may show up in this show. For all we know.
Was Fallen Order 2, or what game was it that they showed? It wasn't Fallen Order 2. It was a different
Fallen Order.
game. What was it?
No.
Do you remember
2's
the
not
one?
out yet.
Yeah, but do you remember the trailer that came out? I think it was around Christmas time for a future game, and it was about the
Eclipse.
Eclipse.
Yeah.
I don't know if that plays in into. I think that's more like High Republic time.
Yeah,
like
it's High Republic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because
Way
it was
back.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then probably because we've been getting rumors about Fallen Order 2 being announced at Celebration. So it would make sense with the timing of maybe that's why they're showing 2 episodes.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, if it's after, then that means like Cal could be a big help.
Yeah.
If it's like that.
Or they
we
might
get a
keep them
BD1
all.
spotting.
Oh, yes, please.
Keep them separate.
If
It's on Tatooine.
There are
Yeah.
BB
Well, we don't know if
droids
that's
on
that's
Tatooine.
yeah, that's ABD, not
Yeah.
They could be
D.
cousins. It's okay.
Oh, maybe he's there watching, like scouting.
Maybe
Mhm.
he's watching Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's watching Luke.
I wonder if if we do see BD or Cal or anyone from Fallen Order, if the Book of Boba Fett BD was like a VFX like test run for
Maybe.
bringing Fallen Order to the screen.
Maybe. If
One can only
anything,
hope.
so if anything, like I'm hoping for Cal. Like, and I've been hoping for Cal in the Disney Plus shows for a while. Like, I was hoping that he was going to show up at the end of Mandalorian season 2 and take Grogu away because I was just thinking he's out there somewhere and he's,
Mhm.
doing his thing. I'm thinking we might get a subtle cameo here, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be the Mantis in the background, which is the ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, so when they finally came out with the Cal Kestis lightsaber at
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge, they
Mhm.
actually had what is his name? Moynihan. They
Yeah,
had the
Cameron Monaghan.
actor Cameron Monaghan.
Mhm.
They had him do a photo shoot in front of the Falcon, which
Yeah.
was like the first like live action appearance of Cal. Maybe they
Yeah.
were like, "Hey, man, let's kind of like soft introduce you to the world as the like live action version of yourself."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they
Maybe.
would have recast him.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So before we move on to Star Cruiser here, I do have to ask this question, and I've asked this question before. Liam Neeson, is he coming back as Qui-Gon?
Oh,
I don't think in the show.
flashbacks.
No, I think if they were gonna have, I mean, if there was a movie where it would call for him, but I kind of feel like he's a bit of a snob, like kind of a solo, or not solo,
Harrison
Harrison
Ford.
Ford. That I'm not gonna go for a show.
He said that
He did the voice for Clone
Star Wars was
Wars.
like, but he said like that was the most fun he's ever had filming a movie was Star Wars.
But didn't
Like,
he
that was his
say
favorite.
also that he goes, if there was a big screen, I would. He was open to it.
Oh, like a movie?
An interview, he asked like, would you come back? And he's like, if there was like a uh, talking about the big screen, something
Yeah.
like that.
He's
Well,
He's like,
laughing
I'd be
too.
open to it. So it's kind of like,
It'd be nice, but I think the more cameos we get, the more it takes away from
yeah.
Obi-Wan.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't need this big supporting cast because everybody is absolutely in love with Obi-Wan. Like I've never met anybody that said anything negative about him. Like he can pull this whole show off on his own. And the fact that we are going to get Vader and we are going to get Bale, it sounds like.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Uncle
mean, we're gonna
Owen has
see
some negative
Obi-Wan.
things.
Yeah, we're
Well,
gonna see
fair.
Obi-Wan at his
Darth Maul, maybe.
lowest. I think that's the
Oh,
big thing. We're just gonna be like sad. We're just
Yeah.
gonna be like,
No
ah,
way.
like he
Big
can't
sad.
do anything.
I'll pack Kleenex for
yeah.
Mhm.
so we can cry.
I am hoping for no Darth Maul though. Like I don't want to see Maul in this show. Like the only time I
Yeah.
want to see them together is in that part in Rebels where they
It's
finish his
finished.
story. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's done. They don't need to go back to that at all ever again. Just
Well, it
leave
was
it.
like it was just kind of beautiful. It was like you don't mess it up. Like
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
It
No,
was
that
nice.
episode was like perfection.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
was gonna say I think we'll get Liam Neeson, even if it's just voice, like another
Mhm.
one of the voiceovers, like he can hear his Force Ghost.
Mhm.
Because I mean, if he came back for Clone Wars and did the voice
Yeah.
for that, he would come back for this.
Well, I mean, I guess there's the part of him actually learning to be a Force ghost, right?
Yeah.
So he has to kind of,
Like he's testing out his Force ghost
yeah.
abilities.
Well, I mean, like
Ooh.
Qui-Gon comes to him and says, "Hey, you need to start. This is the way to, you know,
Like guides him.
yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
So
think
because
he could
that's
be that guiding voice.
Mhm.
the last time that we see Yoda with Obi-Wan, he's telling him that
Yeah.
Qui-Gon has learned to like
Yeah.
communicate from beyond the grave. So
Yeah. Um what was I just gonna say? It was gonna be something stupid about that. Oh no, not stupid. I was gonna say if you don't get Liam Neeson, get Jonathan Davis, the narrator for Master and Apprentice, because his
yeah,
Qui-Gon is like spot on. Like in the
Oh
audiobook,
really?
oh, he sounds almost exactly like Liam Neeson. when he does
I
the
had to do a
voice.
double take when I was listening to it. I was like,
Yeah,
You're like,
and his Obi-Wan is just as good as Ewan McGregor's too.
I have one thing to bounce back to. Can we
Sure.
talk about how Obi-Wan has like the cadence and the tone down to sound like Alec Guinness Obi-Wan? Like Ewan
does.
has turned his voice into Alec Guinness's,
Mhm.
and I just thought that was wonderful.
Well,
Yep.
yeah. Go ahead.
No. I was just agreeing. Like you've just seen this like evolution of
Mhm.
Ewan McGregor, and it's this weird blend now into like the old and the new, or not even the old and the new, the old and the older.
Yeah.
well, that I think that just showed like how, you know, how he cared for this character as well, because there was that kind of gripe of people saying, "Oh, well, he looked like this at the end of Sith, and then this at A New Hope. Like, how is he gonna, he goes from very good looking to this old
To, like
guy."
super old dude.
So it's like it's showing you like how and why, and
Yeah.
There's not many
Ewan's like,
sunscreen suppliers on Tatooine.
Max Rebo's got the corner on that one. But yeah, I mean, Tatooine has harsh summers, and you're in two suns, so of course you're gonna age a little bit more. So I think we are not excited for the show. We're not going to be watching this. I think it's going to be terrible. It's going to be awful.
Binge it
And
later.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Star Wars is dead, folks. Star Wars is dead.
That's the title. That's the
Yeah.
If you ever see either of us tweeting that, know that we have something bad has happened.
Yes.
We've been kidnapped, and
You've
we're
been
like,
kidnapped?
we need to get it, pay your attention.
Call the FBI.
That's your
Star Wars is
SOS.
dead.
Disney killed Star Wars.
I mean, I actually that brings us into our next thing here with the Star Cruiser and the theme parks and stuff. The Lucasfilm Civil War and how Kathleen Kennedy and Disney single-handedly killed Star Wars and how it's not alive. I saw your reels. I saw all your pictures from the Star Cruiser. I have to say, number one, I am jealous, but number two, I am so happy that you guys went and that you had an amazing time because
Thank
it, yeah, it looks incredible. It looks absolutely incredible. Do you want to tell us about your experience with that? And like, if we have any questions, we can float them by you and everything. Like,
Yeah.
is Star Wars dead or is it just alive because of stuff like this?
Do you want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
So I would say it. The funny thing about Star Cruiser
Hmm.
was I felt like we were very positive, and kind of the people that we talked to were very positive about it.
Yeah.
But we have the internet. We see there's the negative, like, oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. Even some of those people, they go to it, and afterwards they're kind of. It was fun. Like they couldn't say any. They wanted to say something bad, but they
Yeah.
couldn't because they're just like, it was fun. It's expensive, but it was fun,
Yeah.
and they enjoyed it. As far as the cool thing about it was it's a new story. It was like a whole new story. We didn't know anything about it, other than like characters, and we knew it,
The time
time and
period.
stuff like that. But it's new. It's different. And everybody complains like, hey, we don't get anything new, we don't get anything different. It's like, this was new and different. And now I think there's things that we could pick at, and I didn't like his thing is I didn't even catch, but Dana was saying Kylo's, well, I don't know if there was like spoilers or we want to talk about like
We
So
can
stuff
avoid,
about that.
we
Yeah.
can avoid
Yeah.
spoilers, but I think,
Yeah.
I
But
think
there's,
pretty
like-
much everybody knows like the characters from the movie that are involved in this, right?
Yeah.
Is that, I don't know if that's a spoiler. It's Rey and Kylo and Chewie.
So Kylo's helmet is not broken the way it was in after Last Jedi. So it was like, that's a good catch. I didn't catch it, but
Mhm.
afterwards talking about it, we're like, oh, you know what? That's right. So it's like,
Ooh.
but that's the level of nerdness that we could actually like
Yeah.
complain about. We're not complaining about like, oh, it wasn't a good time. We're like, actually, his helmet's supposed to be cracked, and there's so I think they should do do things like that.
But really, those characters, their involvement in this larger story that is playing out over 2 days is so minimal
Oh,
that you're really interacting with the crew casts that are on the ship. So there's the characters like the captain, the cruise director, the engineer. There's a first order lieutenant that comes on board, and then there's also the crew members, which are the cast members that work aboard the Halcyon, and
They have stories.
they have stories too. And like one of them is the ship historian, and so he's like, I've been here 9.5 years, and let me tell you what this picture on this art on the wall means. And he's like, if you ever want a tour, just let me know. And he was so cool. And then there was Grace in the engineering room. She was like, I messed up upstairs. They put me down here because I can't be trusted up there. And I was like, well, why do they trust you in the engineering room? She's like, I don't really even know. But everybody there was just into it.
Yeah.
And when you're in this environment where everybody's like into it, and it's not like the outside world where some Star Wars fans love all of Star Wars and some Star Wars fans love certain parts of Star Wars. And so you're not like, everyone is in on this one idea and everybody is playing their part. It was magic. Like that alone, being able to go live truly, Steven laughs every time I say it, but this is the way that they've marketed it, is that you are living your own Star Wars story. And that's absolutely what it is. Like,
Yeah.
did you live your own Star Wars story?
Yeah, it was fun.
But being able to do that in and of itself was just incredible. And you're eating space food. Like nothing seemed like you were on Earth. Like it really didn't.
Yeah.
You really did feel like you were transported somewhere else. And then you get to go on Batuu. Batuu felt different on its own. And then you go back on the ship and you're still eating space food and drinking space drinks and doing all of these things.
yeah.
That in itself was fantastic. Highly recommend if anybody can do it. And of course, the best way to do that is to just like pack out a room with like 5 people
Oh, yeah.
to make it as affordable as possible.
And then actually, like, I would recommend that because at least a group of 5, because going with the big group made it even that much more fun.
Exactly. That's what I was leading up to, is like we went with people that we had never met in person before. Like, no, we didn't, walking into that, we didn't know anybody in person. And we had gone with Dano, who has a channel on YouTube, the Dano channel. We went with our podcast buddies, so Think the Maker and Armor Party. And then we went with some other friends. Because we were on the second voyage, there was a lot of like content creators there as well, that we knew.
Yeah.
But just being able to go and then you like walk into the Sublight Lounge and you know everybody. And then we met people from like the Facebook groups too and stuff like that. And so we just knew a bunch of people going into this and getting to see them in person for the first time. And then you're doing like really cool Star Wars stuff at the same time. Like we could walk into the Sublight Lounge and recognize everybody on that ship because there's only a few hundred people in there.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a dream. Like it's hard to describe how incredible it was because nothing like this has ever existed. And it's so well done that it really does help you to suspend reality for those 2 days that you're in it. Like,
Yeah. And then the way you say it, I think, not to say, oh, that's Disney and Universal, but I could see more amusement, more theme parks doing this type of thing because it just like ups that level of immersion.
Yeah.
Because it was just, again, a good time. And then you went specifically for that thing. Like if you're going to Batuu, you're like, I'm just going really for Star Wars. I'm going to Hollywood Studios and I might go over it, but I want to go see this. Or if it is, Tower of Terror, like you would want to stay in the Tower of Terror. Like somebody was, excited for that.
Yeah.
I think that's like kind of the next thing. And it was, again, nice because it closed you off from the Mickey shirts and the family shirts and stuff like that.
yeah, which surprisingly there's not a lot of on the ship. Like most people dress, I would say like 70% of the people wore costumes. Some people were wearing like, just shorts and t-shirts and stuff. But even then, like by the end of it, people would go to the gift shop and like buy
a cloak or
clothes.
something.
Yeah. And so it was,
Because I mean, you felt almost the awkward one by wearing regular clothes. Where if you would see like a somebody dressed up, you're kind of like, oh, look at that weird person. But this one's it's the complete opposite. Everybody's wearing something, and you're like, well, I kind of feel weird. We're just wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So, but when you were talking about Batu being different, I think that's a big thing that, you know, it's a complete different experience of just going as a park. You're going from a story point and going through all these different, you know,
Yeah.
missions and whatnot. And
Well, and like just
moving around.
logistically too, they drop you right in the first order area. So you're not coming from a traditional entrance into Batu. You're not coming from Toy Story Land or from Muppet Vision. You're being dropped right in the center of it. You never see outside of Batu. So you're truly, you feel like you just like landed in a strange planet. And the way that they, you know, they load you onto a box truck, you never see that it's a box. Like you would have, if those photos hadn't have leaked,
Yeah.
I would have never known what kind of car we were in because it's so well themed on the inside. And then same when we're getting off, like they pull that thing right up to like perfectly align with that arch, and you have no idea that you were on a car riding around the back of the Hollywood Studios parking lot because that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
But you go and there's like a long winding hallway, and there's like these huge like creature marks on the walls. Did you remember that?
Wow.
And you're walking and you're like weaving through this place, and then finally you come out to, you know where those huge gates were right next to where the
Yeah.
TIE fighter is.
Yeah.
So, or not the TIE fighter, the TIE echelon.
Oh yeah.
So that is open now, and they have the free like Batu Dasani waters, just free. They're iced for you. You just take as many as you want. They've got somebody there helping you with your data pad if you've got issues with that. They'll tell you if you're going to buy something, like if you go to Doc Ondar's and buy lightsabers, they're like, if you want us to just take it back to you to your room for you, like just come bring it, drop it off here, and we'll take it back for you.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
It was like true like concierge, like
Yeah.
anything you wanted, they were going to help you get. And so then you go run around, you do your missions, you do your rides and all this stuff. Yeah, the entire thing was luxury.
Yeah. No, it was fun. I mean, and that's one of the things like everyone afterwards is like, I want to go back.
And well, and that okay, so that's the craziest thing out of the entire event, the entire experience is how you feel afterwards.
Mhm.
Because, and I think we've talked about this before, and some of our friends have talked about it before, is this thing called like LARP bleed.
Yeah.
Where when you're in this LARP type situation and you're living as this character for a couple of days and you're getting to have this like something that's totally unlike me, Sarah of Texas life. And then you come back to that and you're like, oh, I've got to go back to my normal life. I want to be back in space and I want to be doing those things again. I want to be with my friends, and you can't. It hits you like a depression. Like, not to make light of depression, but you go low for a while and you're just like, oh, well,
Like going back to real life after like a big convention or something. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is. And I think I cried every day for like 2 weeks, like truly like cried, like just like, why can't we be back there? Like, and it was hard to explain. I mean, obviously I know, like, I'm not a child. I know time passes and we can't be on the ship forever, but it was just so beautiful. And it was so truly magical, the things
Yeah,
that we got to experience.
Biggest complaint was it was just not enough time. And
Yeah.
It's very busy.
if that's your complaint, I think they did a good job.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it seems like it could benefit from maybe being like a 4-day experience. It seems like.
it would benefit the customer.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were looking at it from our side, like, yeah, 4 days would be great. It'd be
Yeah.
fantastic. Because I would like to have a full Batu day.
Yeah.
That would have been really nice.
Because the people that say that they're going to go and ride Tower of Terror and do other, like, you're doing yourself a disservice by trying to
Huge.
do other rides and then get back because there's so much stuff on the like we almost didn't want to go to Batu because there's so much stuff to do on the on the ship. So you're kind of like, okay, let's go do our missions, ride the rides, and go back.
Yeah.
Which is very weird because again, Rise of Resistance is like the main ride you want to ride.
Yeah.
You know, go ride some. You know, these are basically fast passes that you get, and you're kind of like, all right, let's hurry up and get through it. Like,
And get back to the
get back
ship.
to ship.
Yeah. No,
Now,
it was wild. And that was the thing. It's too busy.
yeah.
That's the biggest complaint is it's too busy because even sitting down to eat, we'd be like, let's go. Like, we gotta go do other things now. We have a mission to do. Like it's packed.
Now, I have to ask because you were talking about the data pad. I know, like, we all probably have the Play Disney Parks app on our phones and everything. I saw that they also supply you with a data pad as well.
They did in the beginning, and that
Okay.
was because they had bugs with the Play Disney Parks app and the way that the Star Cruiser Datapad app works on other phones.
Hmm.
So there were like bugs that we saw on ours, but they disable us from using our Plays Disney Parks app on our personal devices while we were there.
Oh, wow.
Which was bad as a content creator because we had our phones trying to play, and then we had to have
Well, we had their data
their data
pads.
pad, my phone, and a camera. So you're kind of like have just like all these devices.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't, and I wanted to take pictures or
Yeah, we
record.
wanted to like screen record like our conversations because once you're gone, like once you've left
You don't get it.
after that day, like
Yeah.
everything disappears from your data pad.
Oh, wow.
Or we gave our phones back. And so after we left, we had no insight into it. But now you can do it on your phone. But I think they were having issues because like some of our friends had some issues. We had some issues too.
like during the time.
When we were on Batu.
Well, I think it was because it was like we did
Jeez.
the story pretty close to the same, and I would get missions before you would. So I think that's what we
No,
would
but like
run into.
remember our son, his location tracking wasn't on, so we were all trying to like it's the same games as
Yeah.
when you're on Batu where you're like hacking and scanning and translating and stuff like that. We were trying to hack something, but you had to be close enough to do it. And his just like wasn't registering. And so we had to go back to the little passenger services that they had on Batu and they got it fixed like right away.
Oh, okay.
But
I was going to
Yeah,
ask,
I
so you
was-
guys brought your kids as well? They got to experience this?
we did. So we brought our 7-year-old son and our 2-year-old daughter, and that was it's exhausting already, but like bringing kids with you made it just like extra exhausting.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I think that was one of the hardest parts because for me, I wanted to get into stuff, and when pushing a stroller around, it's kind of cumbersome. So you have to stay in the back, and you get to watch everything, but you don't get to be the one holding the item that's being transported or something like
Yeah.
that. But at the same time, there was special moments that, like the captain, knew our daughter's name, and it was just funny because I'm, pushing her around, and captain comes up and says, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And
She still remembers our daughter. I was talking to her the other day and she was like, "I'll never forget your daughter." And she was like, "Yeah, she was wearing this little this and that." And I was like, "Oh my God."
yeah, and then
Too much.
and then our daughter watching Rebels today sees a Rhodian and says, "Oh, it's Wani," and I was like, "No, baby, that's a Rhodian."
Aw.
And she's like, "No, Wani," because that's the Rhodian on Star Cruiser. So
Yeah.
That's so
something
cute.
stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, like she won't remember it. And that's okay
No.
because she was free. But but it was cool to make these memories like as a family and to see like our son really got into it.
Yeah.
Like he got super into it. And so did our daughter to an extent. But it's like, I will say this, it is sensory overload
Oh, yeah.
big time. There is so much going on all the time that you're just like, I don't even know where I'm supposed to be focusing right now because there was something everywhere. So I think that got her a little bit because that got me a little bit too. And I was like, I don't know what to do right now.
And I think that's the thing. It's not that they pack you to like, oh, you have to go here, go here, go here. It's they kind of like the panels where there's always something going on.
Yeah.
And so you want to participate in everything, and you're kind of like, oh, like let me go to the engineering room, but I want to go to the, over to the
Because half the
climate
time-
area and,
yeah.
and go. You're wanting to go to all these different parts because you're like, I have a feeling there's gonna be something over here, and so you start going over there trying to do something and hang out, and you're like, well, now you see troopers walking the opposite direction. Well, let me go over here and see what's going on and see if I can help out.
Yep.
So I think it's not, again, they're not making you do anything because I think you could just like sit in the atrium and just watch the show, like
And you
watch
would
all
be
these.
so happy just sitting in the atrium watching everything and just like drinking the drinks and eating the snacks and all. Like, you can't. I don't think it's possible to have a bad time
Yeah.
on here.
I mean,
You could. Anybody can have a bad
Don't,
time.
don't
anywhere.
try somebody.
But it's so well done for all types of personalities.
Yeah.
Because if you're really outgoing and you really, yes, character meet and greets are weird, especially for adults. Like going and trying to meet like Mickey Mouse and having a conversation with somebody that can't converse back with you very well. It's weird. But this is different because it's not a meet and greet. Like you're both characters in this story. And so you're working together for this common goal, or maybe you're spying or doing whatever it is that you're doing. But you have to be that kind of person that's going to go up to these characters and talk to them and interact with them to get the most out of the story piece of it. And then you have to be on your phone the whole time too, because you're doing missions and you're getting messages from these characters at the same time. So it takes a certain personality type to get the most out of it. But even if you're not and you're just observing, there's always something to watch.
Yeah.
Always. And at the bare minimum, like the activities that they have you doing, like the lightsaber training, the bridge training, like those in and of themselves were incredible experiences also. So they really made it for everybody and for every type of fan as well.
Yeah.
Which I know we sound like commercials for it, but like
No.
I mean, it truly is like a part of my personality now. Like we talk about Star Cruiser every single day, all day.
Well, because so we're thinking of like, okay, well, there's so many new things coming out for Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
Because they're adding the Batu bounty hunt.
Yes.
And so it's going to be, another game at Batu, but is that going to be part of Star Cruiser? And are you going to get distracted by Star Cruiser or distracted by the bounty hunt while at Star Cruiser? Because you're like, oh, you're going to be not wasting your time, but you're going to be spending time not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then they did like the face paint, like they keep evolving it. And I think that's like really interesting because it's like, well, when we got it, it was this. Like the next time we go, how different is it going to be?
Yeah.
And and then always like the plotting of like the story points, because people that we've talked to like, oh, well, I did this at this time, and like, well, we didn't do that. Like that's something new. We hadn't heard about that, and so we're going back and trying to figure out like when did these things happen, and like how many variations of these stories do they have?
Yeah, I know a couple people that have built spreadsheets of all trying to piece together all of the storylines, in which room it's happening and at what time it's happening, and who's involved and what of the is it like 6 storylines I think that can happen, which of those 6 are happening at which time, and like how does it link through the whole thing.
It's like that Always Sunny episode.
Like the red string and everything. That's what it, but yeah, I know 2 people that are actively working on
That's fantastic. Yeah, I would like totally be into that.
Right?
Like,
I know he was like, one of them was like, do you want me
go?
to share it with you? And I'm like, yes, I do. Absolutely, I do.
Now you mentioned going to Batu. Now, how long do you get at Batu itself?
The maximum amount of time is 8 hours.
Okay.
The transports to Batu from Halcyon to Batu start around 8:30 in the morning, and the last transport back to the Halcyon leaves at 4:30.
Okay.
They want you back well before that time, though. Like they say you need to be back by 4, and they kind of give you that 4:30 as like, this is like last call. Like you're not getting back. Like if you miss that 4:30 one, I think they basically make you like leave Hollywood Studios and you have to like Uber back around to get back in. Like they, yeah.
About to ask that.
You missed the ship. It's just like a real cruise.
You just get stranded on that too.
Yeah.
So you get the 8 hours, but they recommend less. We didn't get to Batu until about 9:15 because
breakfast.
You do breakfast on the ship, but we had our kids. They have a kid version of lightsaber training.
Oh.
Because the regular lightsaber training is 7 and up, and our kids are 7 and 2, and the kids version is 7 and under. So both of our kids got to participate in that one, and they had that. It was like 8:30 in the morning.
Oh.
So we got to Batu around like 9:15, I think, and then we were back by 1:30 because
had
we had pictures. And we intentionally scheduled our pictures early in the afternoon because people were still going to be on Batu, so it was going to be an empty ship. So we would get pictures in places that weren't crowded with people. And we were late, so we didn't get that many pictures.
Not as many as we wanted.
Not as many as we wanted, but that's okay. But yeah, like if you're going to Batu, especially if you've been before, like get your stuff done and get back on the ship because you're paying a lot of money to be on that ship, and you can go to Batu at any time.
Well, I think there's story points.
There's things you definitely like. You have to go to Batu.
Well, no. I think when you're coming back to the ship, with all the Jedi stuff, I have a feeling like if you're there, you'd be able to get those story points.
Yeah, there's like physical things that you're transporting.
Oh.
Some people. There's physical props to this as well that are pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's one of those like, I mean, again, they keep you busy. They keep you busy the entire time.
Yeah.
Big time.
How is the food? Because I've heard mixed things about it.
I'm not a fan of the blue shrimp. That's for sure.
It was delicious. It was shrimp, and then it's like presented real nice.
It was
little
presented
dry
really cool.
eyes.
I just don't like shrimp, period. And then it was like cold shrimp too. It was like I could pass on that, but everything. And I don't like seafood, period. But there was fish that night too, and that was like incredible.
So breakfast and lunch are kind of cafeteria style or buffet style. Like there's little plates set out. It's like there's a tray and you kind of pick what you want, and you have your fill. You don't have to stop at whatever.
Like regular cruise.
So, yeah. So you go eat, and dinner is. I guess they would keep bringing food out, but you just don't have time.
You don't have time.
They have like a couple courses that they'll bring out. Like first, it was the
first night we had like those colored bao buns with like the veggie salad, noodle salad thing.
It was a real good steak on the second day.
The steak on the second day was really good. But yeah, they bring like different dishes out. All the food is incredible, and it's regular Earth food, but just presented in a different way, like plated in a different way.
And I would say when you say like the regular food, it was more regular than
way more regular
than like Docking Bay or like the Ron. Like it just felt like the grilled cheese.
Yeah, like they have that bubble waffle grilled cheese. It would just taste like a grilled cheese.
Yeah, like it was a lot more regular than.
They have these like really pretty buns that have like this like crackling, like green crackling glaze over it, but it was filled with sun butter and jelly, so it tastes like a peanut butter and jelly, but it just looks like a portion bread almost.
Now the avocado toast was kind of weird. I guess because I don't eat it that way, but it was like a more tart avocado mixture.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff was like not great. Like they had blue milk yogurt that I wasn't a fan of, and I'm partly blue yogurt or blue milk at this point. But that was weird to me. Like it was like a very tart, like a Greek yogurt.
Did it have like the same flavor as the blue milk, or
it just kind of tasted like Greek yogurt to me?
Okay.
Oh.
But there was blue milk on tap. There was green milk on tap.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
That was awesome.
The only difference was from Batu is it wasn't as frozen.
Yeah.
So it was more.
It was more like what you get at Oga's Cantina, where it's not quite slushy. But yeah, it was great. All the food was great.
The drinks, that's where they hit you in the pocketbook right there.
Oh, big time. Yeah. So it's like Oga's Cantina pricing. And so everything's included in the price except for alcoholic beverages and the gift shop purchases. And they get you big. So it's like Oga's Cantina prices for the drinks. There's a couple of souvenir cups with some of the drinks, but they do include like an 18% gratuity on the beverages. Whereas like gratuity is built in for everything else. So that's just one thing to.
And you could walk around the ship with the drink too.
Yeah, you can.
So you just have a pod chaser.
Yeah, it was great.
Which is like an old fashioned.
And then.
And what were you guys drinking tonight? I know you had your homemade.
Yeah, it's almost gone now. It's Outer Rim, so it's like a margarita that they sell at Oga's Cantina, but it's essentially like acai and passion fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
delicious.
Yum.
It's good.
Um,
It's good. I've got the recipe posted out there if you want to go make one.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
might have to. I'm doing
Yeah.
game night tomorrow, and I'm like, maybe we should do
Good.
some themed cocktails.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, my wife and I are going on a 3-day trip, and I might actually have to pick up some ingredients to make some outer rims for that trip too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
good drinks.
Now, you were talking about um, like all the various activities. I did see that you played sabacc. How is like, did you play physical sabacc or virtual sabacc, or did you play both?
We each played a different version, and we never
Okay.
played the other version. So I played physical sabacc,
Hmm.
and then you played the hollow sabacc.
Yeah. Which I don't know the difference. I thought it was the same game but I know Dano said like they have like different rules to them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
But the hollow sabacc was cool. That was the hollow part of it was kind of disappointing because it was just basically a teleprompter type
Oh,
screen. But I was just looking at the
you weren't even looking at
I wasn't
that.
even looking at it. I was looking more at my screen because it's like it almost looked like a sorry type of little
Like
popper.
trouble.
Yeah, trouble type popper in the middle where it'll roll it for you,
hmm,
and then it puts it on your screen, and so then you start playing.
yeah.
But that table, it was just really cool because it was like real cool. Then you just kind of sit there and get your little pose and
Yeah, that was fun. Physical sabacc was cool too, because they have sabacc lessons, they have a tournament, they have the table. But if at any time you want to learn how to play sabacc you just go to the Sublight Lounge and ask your server like, hey, can somebody come teach us how to play? Absolutely. And they bring out the cards, they bring out the mat, they bring everything out, and they sit there and they teach you how to do it. And so that's how I learned.
Hmm.
It was neat, and they sell the sabacc cards in the
Yeah.
well, and that's the part of it
gift
too. Like the characters, there was like main characters that would come in and play with us.
Mm.
So you're, having an interaction, like a meet and greet, but
You're just like hanging out.
they're coming to
so
you
cool.
and come hanging out. So
That's awesome.
it's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember at one point, all of our friends were in the Sublight Lounge. We had gone to do something with the kids, and we walked into the Sublight Lounge, and one of the characters was playing, not even sabacc, they were playing a game that one of our buddies made to play on Star Cruiser. And so it was just like some random new game, and one of the characters was playing with them. And when we walked into the Sublight Lounge, I was in the front, and the character goes, Sarah, and then the whole Sublight Lounge goes, Sarah, and like cheered for me. And I was just like, oh my god, like this is amazing.
And the
Like their
characters,
version of Cheers.
Yeah.
Everybody knows your
Exactly.
name.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh my god, this is my cheers. This is amazing.
the characters remember your name too. Like,
They
and
really
that's
do.
they're not being fed the names or anything. They're like committing them to memory. So
And that's like hundreds of people
Yeah.
every other day
Yeah.
that they're learning.
That's incredible.
Like, it's amazing. Like,
I think the funny one is when we were talking to Peter and he
yeah,
was
Peter from
he
Ordinary
like
Adventures.
he played a trick on the Lieutenant Croy and saying his friend's name, and then he was on like the media voyage and then went back on his own voyage,
Mhm.
and the Croy remembered him and called him by his friend's name, and he's like,
my
"Oh
God.
no, that's not that's not." But I was like, "That's incredible that this
Yeah.
character,
It was like a week
this
later.
person, like is remembering everybody's names, and even for a week, he's
Yep.
remembering it." So
That sounds
yeah,
incredible.
that was
I can't recommend it enough, and I know that it's expensive. Like, it's unfortunate that it's priced so high that people can't experience it. But at the same time, like, having experienced it and having paid the full price for the cabin, it's worth the money that you're spending because you're getting so much out of it. Like, you can sit there and you can say, and we've talked about doing this forever, like, we can compare it to a top of the line Disney stay and like all these things, and you're getting more than even just like the individual lightning lanes, because you can go at any time. Like, you're getting all this stuff and you could price out the food, but there's so much of it there that you just can't put a price on that you're
Yeah.
getting out of this experience. But it's a lot of money, but it is worth it.
Yeah.
Like completely.
Yeah. Lavender, do you have any questions or any other questions?
I don't really. I think most of the questions I had we went over already. I know the food was a big one for me because I was definitely a skeptic seeing the blue shrimp.
So
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it.
Well, and then too, I know we've talked about it, but if you don't like, or if you have diet restrictions, they were very common. We had someone in our group that
We had a lot of dietary restrictions in our
so
group.
vegan and just
oh wow.
just
Food
food
allergies
allergy
too.
stuff, and they would come to them and say, "This is what we have. These are options." Bring them their own separate plates, and there was no like second. They thought about it.
Yeah.
It was just they had it ready for you.
That's
So
nice.
that
Disney has
that was
gotten
real cool. It's like
Yeah.
Disney has gotten like so much better about
Yeah.
that, like in recent years. Like I was vegetarian very briefly. And I remember like for the longest time I'd be like what can I actually eat? And then I was like, oh, actually there's a lot of things at
Mhm.
Disney that I can eat. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
or even the
Yeah.
kids, like they would bring them out just like the tip yip, which is like the chicken nuggets.
Yeah, most
Mhm.
of the kids' food off the kids' menu looked like normal food,
Mhm.
except the tip yip, which comes in like
Square.
squares.
Yeah.
I've never
So our
seen
kids were
square
like,
chicken.
I know. Our kids were like, no, we're not. No. So they had pizza. Lifesaver.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
know my younger daughter is she's not a fan of anything at Docking Bay 7.
Oh.
So every time we go there, I have like Uncrustables stuffed in my purse for her because I'm like, even to people, I'm like, we both know it tastes like chicken nuggets, but she's like, no,
Yeah.
it's
It
weird
just doesn't
shaped.
look like it.
It doesn't,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, I don't think I'm supposed to eat that. Like, that's not a shape I'm used to.
Yeah.
No. And I mean, she's 8, but she's like, no, that's not McDonald's shaped.
It's not a
It's
boot.
not a boot.
Yeah.
So we do the PB&J for her, and everybody else gets whatever we want.
The
That's funny.
the first time Eve had tip yip, she picks it up and she goes, "So which part of the chicken is square?" Like
I will say
That's a great
the
question.
cookbook, the Galaxy's Edge cookbook, and our sabacc deck. We bought
Mhm.
both of those like right before the pandemic hit. Because I'm in Florida. I'm like an hour and a half away from Disney, and I've been a pass holder for like literally a decade and a half at this point. Um,
Oh,
at least maybe more. I don't know. I don't even know how many years I've been in Florida at this point. Point is, we were like, oh no, we're not gonna be able to go to Disney for who knows how long. So
Yeah.
we were like making different recipes out of the Galaxy Edge cookbook. We all learned how to play sabacc, so we're like sitting around like playing that. Yep. I don't even know where mine is since I've moved. I need to find it again, but
oh no.
yeah, it's probably still in a box in the kids' room somewhere. But
I
it's
will
there.
say the sabacc that they play on the Halcyon is different. It's called
Yeah.
Coruscant Shift. So it's
Oh,
a slightly different version. I'd
the
never
different
played
rules.
prior to going,
Mhm.
but it was very easy to pick up, even when you're playing in the Sublight Lounge after a couple of drinks. I was able to figure it out, and I
Yeah.
won. Thank you very much.
I
That's what I'm like looking forward to. Like, oh, we
yeah.
can like go hang out in the lounge, let the kids do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah, I mean, I think if your youngest is 8, they would
Yeah, they're
have like
8
a
and
great
10.
time.
yeah.
A
There's
great.
usually
Yeah.
like a crew of kids that just like band up and run around together.
that's
Ours
awesome.
were a little too young to do that. There were definitely like, well, there were like the light side kids and the dark side
There
kids.
was.
Oh my gosh. My kids would like separate and like each go with one group.
And then sell each other out. That's what was happening.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was super cute.
My little one, she met Ray. This was again right before the pandemic when the characters were still like walking in and around everybody. And Ray came up to her because she was dressed as Ray that day. And she like walked through the whole like little like marketplace with her and was like asking her questions. And she's like, so are you a Jedi like me? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, have you built your lightsaber? She's like, yeah. What color is it? It's red. And Ray was like, well, that's okay. She's like, some people have red lightsabers. I'm just like,
Like, oy.
yeah.
Now, the prices in the gift shop, are they pretty comparable to the prices on Batu as well?
Yes.
That's a tricky question to answer because there's so much different type of merch that's available in the gift shop on the Halcyon.
Yeah.
A lot of it is clothes.
Mhm.
It's expensive. But they have things like the Leia dress is the same price as what you can get off the ship. They have like a black dress as well that was like 150 that I still haven't sold because I passed my return window.
Hey, that's gonna be a costume for.
I could wear it to Mosh Isley.
Oh my God, yes.
But they have things. They have some typical like I want to call them more like resort gift shop items, like coasters and notebooks and backpacks versus the things that you would get in the parks. And they do sell like the lightsaber, of course, and a couple iterations. They have the ship model, which you can see right here. They have a couple different versions of that one as well. So this is like the bigger one, and then they had I think like a smaller one and an even smaller one than that. The droid was about the same price.
Yeah, so
as a Droid Depot. Yeah, $100. But it was just different stuff. And then they have jewelry. They have a huge jewelry line.
Yeah, I think that the soft lines of it, like they have a lot of clothes and kind of like the costume stuff. Like
yeah,
you know,
they're encouraging you to dress up. Oh yeah, they have the Laku and the Togruta head tails too.
So
those look so cool.
I think the hard part of it is it's a very limited window, and so it feels there's a pressure of like you need to get it while you're there, otherwise you don't have a chance of getting it or like paying some scalper price. That's where like I got stuck. Like I wanted some of the clothes, and I was like, well, I don't know, it's just kind of
what am I gonna wear?
It's just costumes type of stuff. But even now, like with the flight suit, I want to get it, but I'm like, I'll wait, and I could put it off. But Dark Cruiser stuff, like if we don't ever go again, I won't have a chance at getting it. So it's the one thing we didn't get was a sabacc deck, and I think it was just
like it would have been the cheapest thing that we would have bought too.
I think it was just like within like getting everything. It was one of those overlooked, kind of like.
Well, that's the other thing is the gift shop's not open on the last day.
Oh.
Because you literally like eat breakfast and leave. Like they kick you out first thing in the morning. So the gift shop closes at 11 p.m. on that second day, and I think we were in the
and that's like story, like heavy story stuff going, like things going on.
Yeah.
So it's even before that it pretty much is like you're done.
Yeah.
So
you got to like race in there and like get everything that you want to get because there's so much going on all the time. That was the thing is it's just you don't have time to just like sit and even appreciate how wonderful it all is until afterwards, and that's when you get really sad about it because you're like, oh,
well, that happened.
Yeah.
Well,
was it a dream?
I know my wife and I have talked about it, and we said like the only way we're going is if we bring a group of people, like you guys said. Like Lavender, I know like we would probably go with you and your husband and your kids and like a few other friends, like just to like have that group package to make it just a little bit easier on the wallet when it comes to the price. But
the kids one is it hurts when you have to pay for kids.
You know what? I mean,
especially because it's like it helps the rest of the group, but But that was like the one thing we're like, I was like, it's great, but
we had to pay for
we pay for 2 plus a kid, and so.
But it also looks like the rooms are pretty big. Like even like the standard room is like a decent size.
It is. You're not in your room that much. I think we slept like 4 hours each night.
I think one of the things I hope they change is that window.
Oh, yeah.
So we've left it on, but the you see outside, but like the lights around it, all the greeblies and stuff, they light up, which is really cool. But at night, it lights up the entire room, and then the room is white.
No.
So it's just like
just bouncing all that light around, and you can't turn off the lights around the window and leave the screen on. So it's an all or nothing. And we're like, we're in space, so we're sleeping with the light on.
That's fair.
Right? Yeah, the rooms, you can fit, like, our other we had 2 other rooms in our group, and they each had 4 adults in them, and never once did they complain about it feeling too tight or anything like that. And
And we had tall people.
they had tall people. We had lots of luggage. Like, it wasn't an issue, but you're just not in your room. It's not like a normal like Disney vacation where you go and you chill and you like listen to, or you go like watch the Mickey shorts or whatever
Yeah.
on TV for a while. Like, it's not like that. Like, you're truly in your room to sleep, shower, and like get back out the door.
But you do have to hit it a couple times because there is like the little
There's a droid in your room, like a droid assistant
on the screen. On the screen.
Yeah, not a real droid. That would have been so
Oh.
great.
Yeah.
That's a whole separate conversation, and so we won't dive into that too much. But essentially, like, she listens into your room at all times, but you can like activate her and talk to her, and that's part of the story. Is you need to talk to her multiple times
Okay.
each day that you're there. Talk to
At
her
least 3 times a day, I think
Yeah,
that's what they said.
Oh wow.
and like ask her to sing you a lullaby and all these things, and she'll do it. It's awesome.
Nice.
And there's like different whatever you say, like she actually is kind of like one of those assistants. I don't want to say it because
gonna go
yeah,
off.
it'll go off.
Yeah.
My
But like
old-
you start talking to her, and then you give her a response, because I think one of our friends, they had the droid killed, whereas like we were helping our droid. Like, so it's like there's
my.
different storylines within that.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
Deactivated in the worst
yeah.
way
Yeah.
possible. Oh
So
my
yeah,
goodness.
that was a pretty cool, like, another thing that you had where it was like everybody had a different story because it would respond to whatever you said. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And then it looks like everything uses Magic Band technology, like everything else at Disney World. Now, are they going to be doing a specialty Magic Band Plus for the Halcyon as well?
They haven't said either way. I would assume so. But here's the weird thing. So initially when it came out, the wording didn't specifically it said data band plus, didn't it?
Yeah.
It said data
Yeah.
band plus.
Okay.
And then they changed it as it got closer and we knew Magic Band Plus wasn't going to come out. They changed it to data band.
Mhm.
And then when we went, they were all calling them M bands.
yeah,
And we were like, wait, what? And so you
I think that was more of a cement. Like they didn't want to confuse people that like, oh, did I have to get a different one from
yeah.
But
So they give you one, it has your name on it. And what we got was just a regular Magic Band. And then they also sold
other
like exclusive Halcyon Magic Bands in the gift shop and at the like little on your way out gift shop where it had all the Star Wars branded
Okay.
Galactic Star Cruiser stuff. You bought all of the Magic Bands that they had. But I do think they will do something different for Halcyon.
I'm still interested to see what they do with Magic Band Plus. Like how
on
they
board the ship.
No, just like in the parks in general,
Oh.
because
Yeah.
it's cute when you scan in, but like I want to see it connect to the
released-
fireworks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be cool. They released some details about the Batu bounty hunt. Did you see that?
But that's your phone though. Like you scan it and then you use your phone
And
to
then
see
use
the
your phone,
X-ray.
But it'll vibrate as you're like
So
getting
that-
closer to the right spot.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
so like
that,
the
and then-
tracking fob.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Pokemon Go type of thing,
Nah.
where
Yay. I was thinking like a metal detector.
I guess if you want to go that route.
Sorry.
Well, I once again we want to thank you for joining us. I know it's been 2 hours. I am so sorry or an hour and 40 minutes. I know we go a long time on the show, but I just want to thank you guys for joining us again, and thank you for sharing your story. It's so amazing, and we are
Letting us
so
live vicariously through
yeah.
you.
Yeah. It just looks like an incredible experience, and hopefully we get to experience it one day because it looks like a one of a kind experience. So we are so happy for you guys. I know Dano wants to go back. I see his posts all the time about wanting to go back and everything. Maybe we can get another group together to go back at some point soon because that was so
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
We need
Costumes are
no
mandatory.
persuading.
What's that?
Yes, absolutely.
Costumes are mandatory.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I've already
yeah,
Yeah,
decided.
you
I'm
have
like,
to
I'm
go
gonna
on.
go all out for the kids
yeah,
and for the grown-ups too.
yeah. But once again, thank you for joining us. You all are welcome back at any time. We love having you guys on, and
Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah. Anything before we leave, Lavender?
No, I don't have anything. I think we talked about it all.
I do have one last announcement. I did announce this on Twitter on May 4th, but now that this May 4th has passed, May 4th, 2023, mark your calendars. We're doing a giant meetup at Batu East at Walt Disney World Hollywood Studios. I've already booked the hotel for Eve and I. I'm just waiting for them to allow the tickets to go on sale. So, but yes, May 4th,
Nice.
2023. Mark your calendars. I know it's a year away, but still, that's
Well,
the
I will
last.
definitely be there.
Oh, I know.
Bring your lightsabers.
Yes. Yeah, bring your lightsabers.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh, yes.
exactly.
Lightsaber meetup.
Yes, we're gonna do that. Eve is actually working on first order themed shirts for us to wear,
Okay.
even though I'm more of a resistance guy.
You're gonna have it where you like a tearaway where you can
Oh, that would be
you were a
amazing.
spy the entire time.
Yeah.
Have like first order, but then like a few little like resistance like greeblies
Hmm.
or whatever to set you
Right.
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
Or like the
Yeah.
sequin ones where you like flip it up it's one way and
Yeah.
Yes.
flip it down it's
Exactly.
another.
Exactly. Yeah. That's for our after hours show when we plan. But yeah. So that's our big announcement. That's it for us this week. We will see you next week for another installment, I guess. Is a year enough to say for Disney John Byram masks? Kind
Yeah.
of.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, a year. A
It's on your
year
budget.
is. Yeah, if it's in your budget. Yeah, don't even get me started on Pop Century and how much that's costing for 9 days. But anyway,
Oh,
that
that's a long vacation too.
yeah. Well, we're
Yeah.
driving down. We're actually
Okay.
gonna drive, yeah. But that's it for us this week. I am going to head off to bed here shortly, but thank you once again to Sarah and Steven. Catch them on Princess and Scoundrel podcast here on YouTube. I believe that you are also on Apple, Spotify, all of
On
that,
all of them.
on all of
Yeah.
them. Um,
All the podcasty places.
yes.
All of them.
And catch them also on the Thank the Maker podcast network. They do amazing stuff. And check out Dano, check out Hondo Supply, all those great people. Peter from Ordinary Adventures. I'm going to stop talking now. That's it. May the force be with you. And remember, at the end of the day, we are all the Republic. Have a wonderful week, everybody.